These might be the craziest loaded fries you've ever seen, but I'm not just recreating the stadium version. I'm bringing two additional elevated versions to the plate. For this episode, we're at Citi Field, home of the New York Mets, where you'll find one of the most over-the-top stadium dishes around, Pat LaFrieda's Loaded Fries, and I'm taking them head on. We'll recreate the original, then crank up the flavor with two remix variations you may have never seen before. One inspired by Greek street food, and the other cranks up the Korean flavor. Let's start with the OG. You can grab these for $21 and a little bit of tax, whatever New York is at the moment. These are going to come with some seasoned Sidewinder fries, sliced Angus beef, cheddar cheese sauce, some sweet Vidalia onions, and a beefy au jus to soak it all together. Now you can grab this at Taste of the City on the field level, section 141, and section 416 behind home plate. Now let's see if we can compete. All right, first we're starting with caramelizing the onions. This is going to take the longest. Now these have been going for about 20 minutes and a little bit of olive oil. You guys got to be patient with this. All right, so this is about 45 minutes. Obviously you can see the deep color, some dark burnt edges with some crispy bits. And this is going to be amazing on top of our fries. All right, I went with the shaved ribeye here. I don't have a Pat's near me, so this is what I went with. But I do have it seasoned up with some fire and smoke Steak King seasoning. And while that's going, I got the fries in the air fryer. You're obviously not here to learn how to make fresh ones. When searching up the best seasoned fries, Reddit told me to head to get the Rally's famous fries. And honestly, if they're anything like the ones from the restaurant, they're going to be hitters. All right, so let's put this together. Just like the OG, this one's going to have my seasoned fries. Top it with a little bit of the shaved ribeye. Then we're going to hit it with those caramelized onions with those crispy bits on the edges. Then right over top of that, we're going to pour some of this white cheddar sauce. Just kind of like rainfall it all over the place. Rainfall? Waterfall? Yeah, let's go with waterfall. There we go. So now that these fries are bathed in this cheese, we're going to come back and then go ahead and get a little bit of this beefy au jus on top. Not only just on the fries, but obviously on my pan as well. Why not? And then we're going to hit it with a little bit of scallions, some green onions. It's going to brighten it up a little bit, give a little bit of freshness to the bite. Let's do a little side-by-side here with Pat's, the OG. Honestly, I got to say, I like where we're sitting. I think we held our own on this one. So let's dive in here for a bite so we can score it on taste and execution. So I got to be honest with you. Man, this one was rich. Had that cheese sauce hugging the beef. Honestly, it felt just like upscale drunk food. And I would for sure be dropping $21 on this if this specific version was at the ballpark. So for taste, I'm going to do a 9.0. For execution, I'm going to go 8.5. Right, I couldn't do the Sidewinder fries, and obviously I don't have Pat's beef. But man, there's such great depth of flavor here with the caramelized onions and the au jus. So let me know in the comments what you'd rate the OG in execution. Now let's move into our Greek loaded fries remix. All right, so you see we started with the little waffle fries, aka potato spoons, and then we got some seasoned ground chicken with a little bit of za'atar, Aleppo pepper, and some other seasoning like oregano. And while I had that chicken going, I had the waffle fryers over here in the air fryer get nice and crispy, about 15 minutes or so. And we're going to plate this up. So we went with the Lamb Weston Idaho waffle fries here. Again, Reddit for the win. You know, I leaned into this specific remix because New York has the largest Greek American population in the country. So this one's definitely a local tribute. Now here we go, plating this one up. Now I grabbed a seasoned chicken here. You could throw in ground lamb if you want. I can't afford it with the 2 subscribers that I got, but maybe next time we can use ground lamb. So we're going to come in, sprinkle a little bit of diced red onion on top. This is going to give us a little bit of crunch, a little bit of texture when we go in to bite into this. Then we're going to come back over top, sprinkle a little bit of Kalamata olives on top of here. This is going to give it a little bit of saltiness, a little bit of brininess to the bite. I know some people see olives and they're like, yeah, disgusting, but I'm using it here. Next up, we got the feta cheese, using the crumbled seasoned version. You're more than welcome to go with just a plain feta. You could do a block and crumble it your own. Next, we're coming in with the creamy tzatziki. Feel free to go as heavy as you want. I think I went with 5 scoops. I also forgot to put hummus on here, but it was on the original ingredient list, so feel free to add that. Now for a little bit of color, going with some fresh parsley on top of here. And then last but not least, some more za'atar seasoning. Honestly, it's one of my favorite spice blends. I put it on a lot of different things. And if you want to add a little bit of heat to this, you can do a little bit more of the Aleppo pepper, just like I did in the ground chicken. Well, let's dive in for a taste. Now, this one was creamy, definitely salty from the olives, the za'atar seasoning bringing everything together. Now, you're not getting this at a ball game, but you probably should. Taste-wise, I'm doing an 8.5. Execution, a little bit lower on this one. I'm going to do an 8.0. Definitely could have used the hummus that was on my ingredient list. Let me know in the comments if you guys would buy this at a stadium and then how much you'd pay for it. All right, this next one might be the craziest. Korean fusion and loaded fries. Let's get it. For this one, we're going to go with the sweet potato crinkle fries. We're going to go a little bit crazy here, and we're going to caramelize some kimchi. Put this in a pan going with a little bit of sugar, some toasted sesame oil, and obviously some gochujang. This is going to turn up the funk, but it's also going to reduce the moisture, which is going to be important when we put this in our egg roll wrappers. Next up on the list, we got some beef bulgogi. I got some shaved ribeye with a little bit of tamari, toasted sesame oil, some sugar, and some garlic. Now, don't let this video fool you. This is absolutely the first time in my life that I've tried to roll an egg roll. So much so that these are vegan egg roll wrappers. I had to Google, are all egg rolls vegan? Stupid, but here we are. So assembling this first one, I ended up cutting these crinkle fries just to make sure they didn't pull out with each bite. Then I'm going to layer on some of the beef bulgogi and then come back on top with some of this caramelized kimchi. I could not wait to taste this because of the kimchi. All right, we're going to go ahead and fold this guy up, tuck in the edges nice and tight. And as I'm rolling this, here I am making this non-vegan with a little bit of egg wash. Dumb. I already told you. Slide this off to the side. All right, I'm going to get another one up here. I'm not going to bore you and show you making all of these, but I'm going to show you one more. Same ingredients, sweet potato fries cut up a little bit. We're going to come in here a little bit closer. You're going to be able to see the beef bulgogi. And then this caramelized kimchi. I did actually sneak a bite in between. Wasn't waiting until the finished product. Let's go ahead and roll this up. As you can see, the sheen of this being non-vegan again. All right, so we're going to put these in the air fryer. I believe I had these in for about 15 minutes total. Rotating them in between. See that bubbling? Yeah, that's egg wash. More non-veganism on top of these. Sorry, vegan friends. All right, here we go with the drizzle of the sriracha mayo. This is kind of like my ranch. I use it on everything. I'm going to top this with a little bit of green onion. And then we're going to sprinkle on a little bit of everything bagel seasoning. Again, something else I put on a lot of different things. All right, let's go in for the taste. This one was crispy, sweet, spicy, gooey, a little bit of everything. Honestly, these vegan egg roll wrappers were kind of like a mix between a spring roll and a traditional egg roll. I didn't hate it. It was just a little thinner than what I was used to. Now, this one was temperature hot right out the gate. Coincidentally, this is the same face I make annually when I see the Dodgers and Yankees payroll. All right, so one of the things I didn't show you guys was this cheese sauce I have off to the side. When I think of egg rolls, I think of like a duck sauce or some sort of dipping sauce. So I tried to recreate that here. Unfortunately, it seized up like the Orioles in the playoffs, but that didn't affect taste. This one came in hard at a 9.1. This one was amazing. Execution-wise, I'm going to take a hit here. I'm going to go with a 7.2. Not only was the cheese sauce kind of out of bounds here, But the vegan wrapper, obviously, I'd like to try a real egg roll wrapper instead of using the air fryer. Do a traditional fry. I think that would have put this next level, probably close to a 10, to be honest with you. So there it is. You got the ballpark OG, the Greek remix, and the Korean kimchi. Now you've seen all three, so let me know in the comments which one you demolish and what stadium food I should try next. While you're at it, tag a Mets fan who needs this in their life. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it. Next time I'm tackling the crazy bird dog at Yankee Stadium. Come back and check us out. Until then, see you next game.